Hello everybody, Rebecca here. I wanted to talk to you guys about a few things Marvel is lacking, with Loki and Thor, I guess, but mostly Loki. We need to talk about Loki a little bit, and then I guess we can get into Thor and stuff like that. But come on, let's talk about Loki. Um, Infinity War wasn't my best suit. It didn't interest me at all. Also, all the times Loki was involved in the Marvel itself, apparently they lacked this one thing that they didn't lack in Thor, but lacked in Loki itself. They lacked to show Loki's true potential. And that is something I missed into now. What I'm realizing is that the reason why we're probably all mad about his death, not because we're sad about it, probably not, but maybe because we can't accept the fact that Loki hasn't embraced himself and grown as a character strongly yet to accept himself for who he is and to show who he really is as a person and how he can truly love one another and how he can grow from hatred and madness and feeling abandoned and used and deceived, all of them things. How he can grow to be an awesome, amazing person. Well, character at least. How he can grow to be an amazing person. And show his brother how much he truly cares about him. And to show and make amends by literally sacrificing himself for his brother. But the thing is, they still lacked one thing with Loki. They lacked his true potential. Always lacked his true potential and left Loki weak. And for all we know, for one, Loki is not weak at all. We all know how strong he can be at times. Of course, with Thor's hammer on him because he's not worthy of the hammer. Because he hasn't shown any worthiness. This sacrifice does not show that he's worthy. It just shows how caring he can be. There's a difference, okay? It doesn't mean Loki changed. It doesn't mean Loki changed. He could even have a plan in place. He probably even planned it with Thanos, for all we know. But Loki is, I believe, surely dead, but, I don't think I want to spoil too much in Endgame, but I might actually say something about that, so, I guess people can get a little bit of closure, but also see how far he has grown as a character itself. But to also feel what that character is feeling and to improvise and to see what it's like to be in his shoes is truly, and to be able to fantasize what it would be like to be him is in his shoes itself. That is truly amazing. He is an awesome character. He's actually one of my favorites. I I didn't know who he was at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I see Infinity War, I haven't seen Avengers 1, 2, or 3 at that time. Well, I seen Avengers 3 when I seen Avengers 3, but I haven't seen Avengers 1 or 2 when I seen Avengers 3. That's what I'm basically telling you. But eventually I did get a chance to see Avengers 1 and 2, and I got to see 4, and let me say, I saw Loki make himself look like a hero. It just seemed like he was telling a message in a way in 4. He's truly not evil. He's misunderstood. But also he is broken inside of all the lies he's been told. Not only that, he killed his own father to literally get the king's approval, Odin's approval. I don't think Luffy knows that's his son. Never is going to know that was his son. But Loki finally accepts that he is Odin's son. But he doesn't accept his fate of who he is. He doesn't embrace it quite yet. And that's what I would like to see more as the Marvel Universe goes on. Is to embrace the character's personality more than what they used to be. Like, honestly, this really isn't. This is just thoughts that's popping into my head. Like, I've been thinking things through and stuff to be able to make this video and stuff. So, in a way, I'm pretty sure you guys feel the same way as what I'm saying. You guys probably already know everything I'm telling you anyway. But anyways, as Loki grows as a character, he learns his fate. And I think he assessed that either him or his brother has to go. And surely it was him. But my honest opinion, I know you guys are going to hate me for saying this. Honestly, I think Thor should show something worthy for once in his life. I think Thor should try to be a warrior like he is, the God Thunder he is, to try and break free, to try and defeat Thanos at his feet. Not only that, I believe Thor should have actually. I think Thor should have sacrificed himself instead of Loki. Because Loki technically did a lot and been through a lot to go through anymore. And I just hope Thor realizes that he has a brother that actually loves him inside. And that how he grows as a character himself. And I never thought Loki was even had the tendency to love or care. But he shows different in Infinity War. But the question is, why? Why? Why does he go for all that trouble just to prove a point? Why does he go for all that trouble? I don't think he should have sacrificed himself. I don't think anybody should have sacrificed himself at that moment. Because I don't think Thanos was actually really going to kill Thor. He threatened to kill Thor if Loki didn't get a Tesseract. Yet Loki did give him the Tesseract. And dropped it, of course, because the Hawk was fighting Thanos. And Loki rolls Thor to the other side, grabs Thor, and takes him to the other side to literally keep him out of harm's way, basically. And that's where it shows that the character grown a little bit. But doesn't show Loki's true potential. I don't even know Loki's true potential. I just know he is a strong, valid, broken character that grown to actually love things and not have his life ruined over that one thing that happened, tragic thing that happened in his life. He felt used, deceived, taken advantage of. And he always had to live in Thor's shadows because he was always going to be king, and Loki was never going to be king. But the thing is, Loki finally accepts himself as his own son, but not only that, accepts the fact that he will never be a god. That's his last words to Thanos before Thanos snaps his neck. But I'm not going to give any. I might actually tell you what happens in Loki in Endgame, but that's about it. I'm going to tell you just one thing. Like, he's shown when they go back to the past, where technically we're for Dark World, and for the Dark World, basically, was casted also. He was shown there first, and he was shown when in the battle in New York, which he escapes with the Tesseract. So that 2012 Loki could possibly go into his own series. Don't get me wrong, I could be wrong about this theory, so as much as you. But everybody thinks the same thing, and I think we're all in agreement here that this Loki is going to probably be able to keep himself safe and alive, which I like, honestly, because I like Loki's character growing and upgrade. I think Loki needs a little bit of upgrade, a push to show his true potential and bring that embrace to embrace himself for who he is, a frost giant. Not a god, but a frost giant, but has god powers. Yes, he can shave. You all know this. He can have the power to manipulate. I don't even need to explain that. But you know he can clone himself. You can also know that he can make projections. He can make a magnet, I believe a magnet. I don't know what they call the clones where it can actually be touched. His holograms will clone himself. Well, I didn't know anything about it until I seen 4-1. And that's where it came to my theory that he is not really dead. But as fate shows, he actually is. Gamora was that. Oh, never mind. But also, Gamora was that too. We're gonna talk about Endgame. I'm sorry, I can't shut up about it. So, yeah. So let's get into the part about Endgame, about who my favorite characters were and who I felt were. I'm going to tell you who I like the most and who I like the least in this movie itself. I'm going to list the best from the worst, basically, or the worst from the best. So basically, I'm going to give you the characters I didn't really think fit in to the quota, but also had a good part and really made it work. Okay, Siri, I don't know anything about her. That's probably why I can't relate to her or say anything about her. So I can't say like if I like her character or not, but I do like the strong girl power involved in Endgame. The Endgame with that bunch of girl power and like it's just amazing. It's amazing how all the girls come together and guys too, not just girls, but there is a lot of girl power involved. So, I'm gonna tell you who I like the best. Well, who I didn't really think would fit into this whole diagramma. And what was really weird about the whole thing, like, well, now that I like Endgame, there's nothing wrong with Endgame. The character herself, I probably can't say the same. Okay, first, let's go to the part where Hawkeye, like he wasn't in too many movies, not in too many Avengers movies. He was only in 1 and 2, and then was absent. But then he ended up showing up in Endgame. But his character was not strong enough to show his true potential as a person and show how he grown. That is the thing that everybody's lacking. The characters I'm talking about are lacking. Some of the characters have it like at that point, but this character itself literally doesn't show any potential in the fight whatsoever. But so is some of his family, which I'm happy about. But it just seems like Hawkeye didn't have too much of a part, and like he didn't seem too important in that part of the movie. But the beginning made like he ended up killing people in the end of the movie too. So like his part doesn't add up. He's a temporary villain at the moment because of his family disappearing because of Thanos and basically dusted like the others that were dusted in Infinity War. But Hawkeye is absent and then puts on a new brings on takes on a new role, Rodan. And then he starts killing people and stuff like that. And whoever see Endgame, I'm pretty sure you know all that, but yeah. So yeah. I'm just talking about how things could have went better with his character. I think if they would have stayed in character for a little longer and just kept him as he was. No offense. I don't think villains should stay villains, but I didn't like that his character was one thing and then another. But I like how characters grow and show potential. This was not showing his true potential. This was showing his dark side, which I don't agree with whatsoever. But there's nothing wrong with Endgame, as I said. But the characters themselves, I can't say too much. Okay, so sorry about my throat. It's kind of scratchy. But let's go on to the next character. Okay, the Hawk. No, actually, never mind. He's actually pretty much a good character. I'm actually gonna listen to my good section. Sorry about that. Not the Hawk. I mean, uh, I forgot what this character's name was. I gotta think of it. Um, I can't say Thanos is the worst, but I can't say he's the best either. I think Thanos' character was a little slower than usual, but that's okay because things are supposed to be a little bit off in this movie. It's a time travel movie, so I'm not expecting everything. I'm not expecting things to be perfect, but it was epic. The movie was epic. I'm not gonna lie, but the characters have a few things like that could have improved a little bit better. Gamora, on the other hand, um, Gamora. I, I don't even. Okay, I'm gonna talk about Gamora. Wait, now I'm gonna talk about Gamora. I already talked about Loki. Gamora, on the other hand, I don't know if I actually. I think I like Gamora's character in Endgame, but it just didn't really expand like it should a little bit. But she has no memory of meeting them. But the thing that confuses me is Thanos was not even um in in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume One. Nor was Nebula. So also, I never knew Gamora was even a villain at first. Like, I thought she was always the good guy. I always seen her as the good person and who cared about other people and put other people's needs before her own. And understand the true meaning of love itself. That's how I seen Gamora. I didn't see her as a villain at first. I never did. I think they put that in the movie on purpose just to really add more to the character and show us how the character grown and I love that. I really think that was clever. Um I think only the guy that I can just say like wasn't like a good fit at all was Hawkeye. It's like he had a purpose but he didn't at the same time. I like how he tried to sacrifice himself for Black Widow, but like Black Widow already took the heat, so it's a little bit too late for that. But also I don't like the fact that he's only thinking about himself. Like, I feel like his character should have shown more compassion. I understand like losing your family isn't meant to be taken lightly. Same for Ford. He didn't take his brother dying lightly either. So what does it say like Hawkeye does the same thing? And like as everybody all knows, Hawkeye is a temporary villain. But as I said, like changing back to his normal form because Black Widow gives him hope. Otherwise, he would have stayed that way and probably become the villain of the movie. But what's really interesting about it itself is that the secondary villain is the past Thanos. Yes, they said there was a second villain. This is it. There is a second villain, and that is the past Thanos, which is a bigger threat than Thanos himself. Why is that exactly? Because past Thanos literally hasn't started anything yet. He is the strongest villain of them all. I can say his character was well thought out and like really strong amusement. You know, he killed off my favorite character, Loki, but in that case, the past is in the past, right? But I feel like I don't know what literally made me think this, but I felt like he was kind of making redemption with Nebula, but then again, he wasn't. Like he was telling for that he used the stones to destroy the stones and then then he talks to Nebula. Nebula tells him, my father's one thing, but a liar isn't one of them. And like he says, thank you, daughter. I think I may have been a little bit harsh on you, and then Ford tenderly cuts his head off. But yeah. So a lot of people that feel that potential in a character itself, like literally brings out the best than the worst. So yeah, I think Thanos was a good character, and how they made his character not like literally re-vaporize as himself again, but showing how strong he used to be. Let me tell ya, going back in time isn't no chilly-chillio. Like, it is no, like, it is not easy at all. Like, going back in time to fight him is like bricks burning on your feet, basically, or worse. Like, he can throw you, he can talk to you as far as he can throw you, man. Girls and guys, or whatever. But seriously, guys, as you can tell, Thanos is the villain, but the past Thanos is the bigger threat. But also with the second Nebula. Well, the past Nebula. Nebula from 2014. But the Nebula in the present turned good, of course. From Volume 2, she redeemed herself. Because Gamora showed her how to love. And showed her that she can change as a person. And showed her that, like, you don't have to get approval to be happy. Basically, that's what Gamora was trying to show her, that you don't have to get your dad's approval to be happy with yourself. What you do is good enough. Basically, Gamora shows that she appreciates Nebula as a person, so that's what gets Nebula to change. Nebula thought that she always wanted to win. As she says, you always wanted to win. I always wanted a sister. She wanted a sister to support her, which that's understandable. Like, I think Nebula was always misunderstood. I think Nebula was misunderstood to begin with. Like, her character probably wasn't supposed to be a villain at all. But it shows that what a sister and sister fight go through, what sisters go through basically on day-to-day basis. So that's amazing. But how Gamora really cared about her in Volume 2, like, I really love that. But that's basically spoiling, basically spoiling Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I don't want to get back into. I talked about Guardians of the Galaxy a lot, and now I want to get, I'm gonna get back into the characters and what they're all made for and stuff. So, my next favorite character, well, technically fans with my favorite character, I'm saying I'm listing words from best. I'm not really listing my favorite character. The next best was basically Iron Man. Iron Man literally stole the show. He was amazing. Like, I think his character was well thought out, not rushed, and done at the right time and right place. I think after he settled down with his kid, he wanted more out of the situation. But he didn't want to do it at first because he didn't want his kid to be taken away. He wanted to keep what he had, and he also wanted to get back what he had. He wants to keep what he has, but wanted to get back what he had. He basically turned down the idea at first, but then again, he literally made a deal. He was thinking about it and told Pepper Potts about it, and she said, like, she's fine with it, basically. Um, but, like, seriously, as you all know, he does bring a better character out, like, than he did in Infinity War, but that's only because everybody was all broken up and had all feelings at each other and literally didn't know how to deal with each other at once. But yeah, um, but Iron Man was really thought out. Tony was really thought out, and I love how they made his character so well thought out, and also so turned in a way to bring his character development to make him become a man that's Iron Man from a selfish guy that only cared about himself and was only a player to a guy that actually cares about and puts other needs before his own. That is his potential. His potential is his caring nature. He shows potential, and I think we can move on. As you all know, Iron Man is dead now. But the worst part of all was Peter Parker. Um, I didn't really like the way Peter Parker, like, seeing Iron Man die, and like his arm was able to handle it for a second until he snapped. Of course, he couldn't handle the radiation. Basically, he stole the stones from the Gauntlet, and he figured out how to trick fans at his own game. Isn't that amazing? Yes. If he knew that sooner, probably Loki would have been able to do the same thing by tricking Thanos in the switchy swap thing, but also killing Loki at the same time. But then again, probably not. Because Loki probably would have been quicker to really grab. Thing is, Loki on our hand would probably have been quicker to grab it with his clone or whatever he makes here. And then again, he probably could have freezed the Black Order. Like, Loki has freezing powers. As you guys know, he is the Frost Giant. So the Frost Giant always has ice powers. So Loki can basically harm Thanos with his ice powers. Thor could have been harmed with his ice powers, but Loki never used it on him. Loki never used it on Thor. Thank God. I'm just gonna say thank God for Loki never used his ice powers on Thor. Otherwise, we would have been like a big of a pickle because there would be no more Thor movies to begin with. But yeah, even though I don't care about Thor all that much, and I'm going to tell you why, because he's probably the next character like I'm gonna list, but he was okay. But he was one. I gotta say he was like well thought out also. But yeah, Um, also, like, the, Tony Stark also has a funeral, so they go out with Tony Stark and his funeral. I think I'm telling this backwards, and I'm telling characters too backwards, but there is so many characters to list, and I'm doing my best to list them all, but I'm doing one at a time here. Captain Marvel was well thought out. Like, she was well thought out, enough strength, not overpowered at all. She was well enough, and the fact that she was literally able to handle the radiation without any consequences was amazing. Like, really amazing. She was able to handle the Power Stone, and when Thanos tried to kill her, it didn't work because she is invincible. Remember this. Captain Marvel is invincible, and that's why Thanos wasn't able to kill her off. Thank God she's not dead, but yeah, Captain Marvel obviously is invincible because she could take that hit that Thanos gave to her. It's like Captain Marvel was planning it all along. um, Also, no. Don't even go to that theory that she's disguising, that Loki's disguised as Captain Marvel now. Don't even go to that theory. Nobody go to that theory. Because that person's not disguising as anybody. But I do think this about Captain Marvel. I think she might be bisexual. No offense, not to offend anybody in the GB to be oh my god the BGLTQ team, the GBLTQ team, the LTB, oh my god, it's the other way around, okay? The LGBTQ team, basically. I messed it all up. I'm really sorry for people that actually are in that, like, that are actually, I'm not trying to offend you guys. You guys are in that, criteria. I'm not trying to offend you or anything. Not trying to offend you, trust me. I don't do that. I'm not sexist. I don't go against anybody's religion, nor sex and orientation. But I do go by this. The shocking thing is that Valerie and her really have like a really good connection together. But like I see like Captain Marvel developing as a character and going as she goes, and she was well thought out too. Like I really like how these characters were well thought out. Except for Hawkeye, like he was the least evolved. Like he didn't have too much of a role in the movie, and like his role just didn't fit in. And a lot of you guys might disagree with me, but I just feel like his role did not fit into this movie too well. But the Nebula thing did fit in very well, especially having two Nebulas from different times, and then having the present Nebula killing the past Nebula after she tried to tell her that she could change, but refused. So Nebula had to do what she had to do, which I'm pretty sure Nebula didn't want to kill her past self, but she had to do what she had to do to keep the world safe from Thanos, like Emirates, and keep him from stealing the stones to begin with. And the best part of all, let me just say it like this, is like soon as Tony says I am Iron Man, he dies, but after like he says that, like all of Thanos basically army dusted away with him basically. Yes, this is spoil. I'm basically spoiling Endgame, so I'm spoiling it full time. So don't complain, don't do anything, because there is a warning title. But also in that case, I also feel like I don't know. Pepper on your heel, like she fit in like really well. she made it work. I guess like she made it really work, and I really like how her character developed too. As a character, I couldn't um accept that Tony had to do things for other people to somebody who sets his fate as it is and basically lets him go. But the thing is, I don't really like. Okay, also like Iron Man, Tony is also a dad now, so just know that he is a dad now, and he sacrificed every like basically jeopardized his life for the universe. So just take it easy on him a little bit. Like he used to be a selfish guy, but he changed completely to sacrifice himself for other people. And to be able to survive a couple of times, that was amazing. But this one time that he couldn't survive, that showed how true the character was to himself. Also, that how far that character was willing to go to save the universe from harm, even if it meant giving up what he loved. I don't want you guys crying already, but I know I'm giving a well thought speech about everything right now, and like what I'm saying does make sense, but I'm just saying like Pepper Potts just pushes Peter out of the way because he literally was like he didn't even make anything even better, honestly. Like he said, "I'm here. It's me, Peter." Like seriously, you're supposed to be like you're not supposed to be okay with Tony dying, Parker. You're supposed to be like saying that you should be thanking him basically. You should be thanking him and saying we're gonna be okay even without you, we'll find a way. That's how Peter should have did it. You did, and should have said this. You did so much for us, and I know one day we'll probably be able to repay you. Also, this fact I just found, like I realized this now. When Doctor Strange comes back, he said, like Tony says, you said that there's one chance that we win. Please tell me this is it. That's what Tony asks. That's what Tony says. And then Doctor Strange replied with this. If I tell you what's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Basically, to keep Tony from going off track. Because if he knows he was going to die, it's not going to happen. Like, if Tony knows he was going to die, his fate, it was not going to happen at all. I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange already lived Tony's death more than once. And sadly to say, he probably cried a couple of times too, but I'm not 100% sure because he lived it more. He lived only that one time they won with Tony Stark dying. Why did it have to be Tony Stark? I'm guessing. I don't know why. Captain America. Okay, let's go into him a little bit. I'm not talking about Tony, but Captain America. He brought a well self-centered. He did pretty well. And the fact he was able to lift Thor's hammer, that's amazing actually. Like I think that was truly amazing. Like that was amazing. Like he proved he was a worthy character. So it shows how far he grown to like not being worthy of Thor's hammer to being worthy and having a heart of gold. To show that he is worthy of that hammer because he tried to sacrifice himself more than once for the universe. And then eventually he retires, and I'm pretty sure you already noticed that whoever watched Endgame already noticed that that him and Paige basically had their dance. And that was, also there's no post-credits, so There's no post credits at all. Because that's the end of the Avengers. So let's get into Doctor Strange. I like him as a character. Like he was well thought out, and even though his character was only there for a few minutes, like he did a really well job. Like he did a good job. Also, I like Rocket. I like Rocket. I gotta tell you, I loved Rocket. He killed it. He killed it completely. He did amazing. Like I like the fact that he tried getting Ford to snap out of things to get back on track to keep Ford on track on the task that was supposed to be done. So he doesn't get off track again and literally fails again. So they don't fail again at this mission. So this time they actually succeed. But also remember this that like never mind, never mind. Okay, four. We're getting to four now because I just talked about Rocket, so I can't talk about him without talking about four. His character changes a lot, and the fact that his character can change from being completely confident and going for a lot and being strong to like becoming like a well thought out character and realizing that it's okay to make mistakes because that's what makes you who you are because nobody's perfect. That was an amazing line from his mom. Also, I like the fact that he literally decided to see his mom, not his brother. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, his mom died before his brother and before his dad. But then again, like, out of all people, why did he pick his mom over his dad to see? Like, why did he go to see his dad also? Like, that question still run on my mind. And why didn't he see his brother also? Like, I don't know why he couldn't see all three, but I think they had a certain amount of time. And I don't think he could see all three at that moment. But I don't think they're going to go back in time again because fighting Thanos isn't a piece, it's not a piece in the cake. Like, it's not a piece of cake at all. Like, he can kick butt. Like, he is, like, the strongest of all. As I explained, like, he's kind of unstoppable, but he eventually was unstoppable. Because they finally used tactics that actually work instead of trying to take the gauntlet off, which failed miserably. They tricked Thanos because they took the gems off. And I think that was a great twist. Honestly, I think that was well thought out also another character I can talk about that I can see like really stood out like was Ant-Man. Like he was unique in the movie because like I really like Ant-Man. He's actually my favorite character. The fact that like yeah, like but yeah, like I really do think Ant-Man was a good character. So yeah, he stood out a lot and he taught them about the quantum realm and he taught them how to bring everybody back basically. I really like that. I like how he showed them that how they can grow as a character and still like live on even though they failed once. And that's okay to fail as a character. I'm pretty sure that's what we see also in Infinity War when Loki fails himself. That anybody can fail at any given moment with Thanos. They can fail and trip, they can do something dumb and mess up. Even Loki can mess up. Basically, that was the point. But I think I messed that, and I think a lot of people missed it, but I think I see it now. I think I see what Marvel did there. I think it was amazing. How they literally made him literally escape from the Battle of New York with Tesseract because he has a series coming out, so that makes sense why they did that. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to mess with a whole timeline making a prequel. Prequel take longer than actually making him as himself. So I'm pretty sure they don't want to literally have more characters being involved in his character. But I'm pretty sure yeah. But yeah, seriously. I really believe that Ant-Man, he had a great part. He also literally commented on the funny part in the movie is when Ant-Man said, "That's American ass." That was funny. Because Tony basically insulted them. But let's get into Nebula a little bit. I think I already talked to you guys about her already. So, I think I just how everybody got together and oh, I forgot to mention Black Widow. Um, mm, I forgot to mention her, in the beginning of the video, probably she didn't have too much of a part in, her character didn't stood out too much, but, she still fit in the story and it still worked out, but I don't think she's gonna get 5 stars on her acting. Sorry. But yeah, I think everybody had a unique is their own character in their own unique way. And I like how everybody was all unique and was willing to fight together instead of against each other. Because the last time they failed because of Quill, basically. We all know that because Quill literally got mad and literally messed them all up. Tony Stark was supposed to die in Infinity War, but instead, I'm gonna tell you what happens. Instead, I'm pretty sure you guys don't know this because you probably already seen Infinity War. You probably guys haven't seen Endgame yet, though. So yeah, but yeah, so his character, yeah, Tony Stark was supposed to recently die in Infinity War, but they decided to just kill him off in Avengers Endgame. But in an honorable way too. He showed himself really, really worthy. I'm surprised Tony wasn't able to even lift Ford's hammer. I'm really surprised. He showed himself really worthy, extremely. Tony does so much for people, as much as Captain America did. So, yeah. The only reason why I didn't kill Iron Man to begin with in Avengers Infinity War is because he was the key in Avengers Endgame. He was the emotional key to begin with. And I think I kind of saw this coming, but didn't at the same time. So I wasn't expecting him to actually die. But also, I wasn't also expecting him to actually wear the gauntlet. Him to actually also wear the gauntlet. To just dust away famous characters. Minions, basically. Yeah, so I really believe that in a way, he grown as a character. Everybody in this movie grown as a character and learned how to work with each other instead of against each other. That's what I like basically about this movie. I I hope you will basically. Oh, I'm pretty sure you guys also know that Black Widow dies, so. And Thanos dies at the beginning of the movie, and then comes back in the past time. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to hear more videos from me. I hope you guys had a great day. Rebecca out.